Frequency Podcast Network. Stories that matter, podcasts that resonate.
He's in the building!
Drink the moment. Drink it.
I said, empty your mind.
Coquettish and coy. Ow. Ow.
What?
And there's people that are dying.
The wickedly talented.
More than great. It was historic.
Crack is
World.
Oh, good for you.
I have to apologize.
One of the hottest.
Welcome back to The Reheat, a podcast that re-examines the wildest celebrity news and scandals of yesteryear and asks, how would we react to the same events if they had transpired today? I'm Sarah Sahagian.
And I'm Steph Hassan. And this week is another hot off the press. If you don't know already, that's when we do a mini-sode that discusses the craziest headlines Sarah and I can't stop thinking about right now. So first up, I'm going to run you all through a couple of quickies that I've been obsessed with. For instance, this is my favorite news of the week. Sarah, I know you're going to side-eye me, but Tom Cruise was awarded an honorary Oscar last week, and after party... he was seen dancing, not well, but vigorously. And I, for one, feel this Oscar was very much overdue. I think this was meant for his role in Magnolia, which I continue to stand by. He should have won the Oscar for that. Maybe that's just me. Sarah, will you allow me this little win?
I think you can make that argument, right? I mean,
right?
Yeah, I don't... Yes, sure. Of all of his performances, that's the one. If we have to give him an Oscar... that's the one he should get an Oscar for. Sure.
Thank you. Okay, perfect. Done. Okay, another little quickie. This one's a little bit morose, but I also found it very moving. So the famous Kessler twins, who are very popular in Germany, kind of became a whole thing back in 70s, 80s, 90s. They died last week at the age of 89 by assisted suicide. So at the same time they chose to go, came into the world together, left the world together. The two of them were ballet dancers, singers, actresses. They kind of did it all. And they said they couldn't bear to live without each other. And I think that's really beautiful. Now, finally, Nicole Kidman, our favorite gal, one of our favorite gals, her foolish ex, country singer Keith Urban performed Pink Pony Club at Mar-a-Lago for a private performance attended by none other than Donald Trump.
Ugh.
This is so ghastly to me.
Uh-huh.
It's also really unfortunate because Chappell Roan, whose song is Pink Pony Club, she hates Trump. Like, she avidly hates Trump. She talks about it frequently. And now Keith has also unveiled his politics, which I wasn't sure of. I mean, I had a little bit of a sneaking feeling, but now we know. So I just feel like Nicole is way better off. Sarah, what do you make of this news?
Oh, man. You know, it was funny. I was talking to a divorce attorney I was interviewing for another podcast. And after we recorded, I was talking to her about the Keith Urban-Nicole Kidman divorce. And I asked her, what do you think about the fact that Nicole Kidman owes him all this money for the years he was sober, even though it looks like he probably relapsed in the end? And she just said, what kind of terrible lawyer negotiated that? Like, that's
seriously.
Yeah, this girl needs to get better legal representation. But also it speaks to their relationship from the beginning. This was an insight that she had, that it kind of speaks to how from the beginning he was in control, right? She was sort of primed to give too much. She was trying to make it work. She was being the people pleaser. It feels like, and she didn't say this, the lawyer didn't say this, but I'm saying it. It feels like very much he's a narcissist and she was being abused by him from the beginning. And listen, I think partially this is probably definitely always the politics he's had. I also think he's probably trying to embarrass her to a degree, right?
Oh.
I think he thinks he's winning the breakup this way. Obviously, she's winning the breakup this way.
Yeah.
But I now think very little of this man, like very, very little of this man. So I'm going to give the least charitable interpretation to everything he does. But this is also gross for all the reasons you really articulately pointed out. This is disgusting. Chappell Roan wouldn't approve of this. We know Nicole Kidman wouldn't approve of this. He has 2 teenage daughters. He's going to humiliate them.
Yeah.
So what a jerk.
I know, he's such an ass. I co-sign all of that. Meanwhile, Nicole is like hitting all the runways. She's at every red carpet. She's been on magazine covers. She looks better than ever. She very much has won. Like, don't get it twisted, Mr. Urban. Like, absolutely not. Get out of here. Also, choosing to align with Trump more explicitly is such an odd way to move forward. Like, what?
Especially at the current moment, it's like, let's wait
Yeah.
until they're just about to open the Epstein files to say that
Right.
I align myself with Trump. Like, is he in the Epstein files? I don't understand why he's doing this, right? I
Maybe
don't
he
get
would have
it.
liked to be. I don't either. I don't get it.
Oh, I mean, there is a really disgusting and sad set of man who like is disgusting enough but not important enough to be in the Epstein files, who probably is feeling a little bit of FOMO right now.
My God, Sarah, I love that. It's so true. We've got to do a whole episode where we just do a deep dive because now they've released a bunch of the documents and I need a day to just make some coffee and sit down and go through them and enlighten myself.
Yeah,
But
read about
anyway.
all the bad men.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. First big headline. So Ariana Grande announced recently she may never tour again after her upcoming Eternal Sunshine dates, which will follow the release of the Wicked sequel, which is out now. I haven't seen it yet. I'm very excited to. Now, on Amy Poehler's Good Hang podcast, she said after 10 or 15 years of being a pop star, this will be her last tour for a quote, long time. That's 4 longs. She also said, quote, I'm going to give it my all and it's going to be beautiful and I'm so grateful. That's why I'm doing it. I'm like, one last hurrah. I spent so much time only doing pop music, but I grew up as a girl who loved musical theater and comedy. I think the thing that will be best for my soul and also my art and for what I'm giving myself to is if I'm chasing things that sort of feel just very right in the moment. I feel very privileged and grateful to have learned that there can be room for different creative endeavors. Now, she does have a few acting gigs lined up after Wicked too. She's doing Fokker in Law, which is a comedy franchise that still exists. And
What? Is she going to be marrying one of their children?
I have no idea.
Are
Now,
their children
mind
old enough to
you,
get married?
great question. Probably after this time. I know Ben Stiller is involved. That's all I know. So we shall see. She's also doing a season of American Horror Story. Of course she is. She's previously worked with Ryan Murphy on Scream Queen, so I'm not surprised he brought her back for a season.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and you know what? I think Ariana's great as an actress. She's also very funny. Part of the big highlight with her being on the Good Hang podcast is Amy was talking to her about how hilarious she is. And we all know she's very good at impressions, but I think her career could go deeper than that if she wanted to. But, Sarah, what do you think? We've talked a lot about musicians turned actors and when that's effective. Do we feel like this is a wise move for Ariana?
Yeah, and I actually feel bad for Lady Gaga because I feel like Ariana just had better strategy and better representation because Lady Gaga did so well with A Star Is Born. And then I think the problem was House of Gucci had too much hype, too much anticipation, right? And then wasn't excellent. It was just fine.
Yeah.
Also has a weird abrupt ending. And then obviously the second Joker movie, I mean, incel vibes. So gross. I think she needed better advice. But Ariana, I like that her next projects are not high pressure, right? Like if Fokker in Law fails, it's not because of her, right? It's an existing franchise. It's IP that's out there. If American Horror Story fails, I mean, first of all, it's not going to fail because people love this franchise, right?
Yeah.
But it's also just a TV show. So there's not as much riding on it as a big budget movie that's trying to win Oscars. So I think she's really smart. She's not putting too much pressure on herself. And I think this is how you, in the long term, do win Oscars in sort of a 5 to 10 year period. Whereas I think Lady Gaga might have delayed what I hope will one day be her Oscar because she's now going to have to do a comeback right after 2 movies that failed. Like, let's just say it. They failed.
Yeah, it's kind of God, the Gaga thing makes me sad. I love Gaga, and I think she's such an incredible actor. Oh, she's so good. I think she might be like one of the greats in this generation.
Yes.
But I'm with you. It's so disappointing, these last few choices she's made. And you're so right. Like, that matters. And may I add, because I agree that Ariana's upcoming projects are so perfectly chosen, also because they're probably going to be very memeable. Like American Horror Story is so camp and its audience is Ariana's audience. Like they're going to go nuts. And then Fokker and Law, I'm assuming she's just going to be very funny and basically be a lot of herself. So the internet will love it, meaning if the internet is in support of every move she's making acting wise, it's lining her up very well for project after project and maybe the next big role she chooses to do. I'm very curious how this is going to work because she's also one of those phases where I'm like, how do I forget that it's Ariana I'm looking at? That's very tricky.
It is. That was one of my issues with Wicked. And I thought she was great in
Yeah,
Wicked. I thought
she
she really
was.
was excellent. But you still thought, oh, okay, I'm watching Ariana Grande be Galinda. You're not watching Galinda, which is one of the perils when you take a Broadway musical and then put celebrities in it, right? I mean, and yes, not that Broadway celebrities aren't celebrities, but they're a different type of celebrity. You're not used to seeing them as close up as often, right? So I get what you're saying. And it wasn't enough of a transformation, even though she was all dressed up in pink ball gowns. I'm like, yeah, I feel like I've seen Ariana Grande like that before. I feel like
Exactly.
it's just an Ariana era. But it's interesting that she wants to stop touring. And here's the thing. She probably will, but it's almost time for her Las Vegas era, right? Her Las Vegas residency era, which they all do, right? It's almost time. And you need to age gracefully into that. You don't want to deny that. You don't want to be like Jennifer Lopez. And I love Jennifer Lopez, but you don't want to be like Jennifer Lopez and do the tour that doesn't sell, right? What you do instead is you let your fans come to you. Your fans want to go to a concert that starts at a reasonable time, has comfortable chairs, and then afterwards they can go to a shrimp buffet. That is what your fans want at a certain age, right? And Ariana knows this is the last time her fans are going to want to stay out late enough to go to a concert.
Maybe.
Then she will do her Vegas residency, which is great. Do that. You can make so much money. So I think she's aging gracefully here. I think acting's a really good outlet for her. Obviously, she likes acting, musical theater. She has a lot of talent for. I would like to see her actually go to Broadway and do a few musicals
I
there.
do too.
I would like to see that.
I'd love to see that. I feel like she was built for Broadway. I feel like there's an alternate timeline where little Ariana made that her career rather than the Disney Nickelodeon path. But I don't know that I believe she's gonna do she's on the Vegas path right now. But I love that theory, Sarah. I feel like she's got like a few transformations ahead. She's saying she's not going to tour for a long time, but I don't know that it's going to be that long.
You know what's interesting? What if there was an alternate universe where she wasn't on Sam and Cat? She was on Glee.
Oh, God. I don't know if I like that.
And then she just becomes a Broadway actress afterwards because that's what makes sense.
So Leah Michelle.
No, I'm thinking she would have been Diana Agron if Diana Agron were a better singer. No offense to Diana Agron. But
Diana Agron is a terrible actor, terrible singer. My God.
Yeah. So she would have, Ariana would have made that Quinn role better, I think.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So Glee's a better show. She maybe becomes more identified with musical theater and ends up being on Broadway. She and Leah Michelle would have had a huge rivalry. That would have been amazing.
Totally.
We would have done an episode on that. That would have been delicious.
Well, apparently there was some tension because Leah was also on Scream Queen. So who knows? We should do a whole thing on Leah Michelle. But yeah, I like that theory. I guess we shall see. I don't think she can step back from music that much because I think she loves it too much. Like, even the way Eternal Sunshine came out, it was a little bit of a surprise album. And the way she talked about it was like, I just had so much I needed to say. And it's such a beautiful album. And I feel like that's been the case for her a few times. I feel like she's telling us this. And then in a few years, she's going to come out with some gorgeous surprise album because she just felt so emotional. And I'm here for it. Ariana, you take the path you need. I love any art she has to give us. I think she's so talented, so I'll take it all. Okay, let's take a quick little break. We're going to be right back. We've got more juicy headlines to dig into. And we're back. Now, next up, unfortunately, I've got a little more news about conservatives taking over Hollywood. I'm sorry to say. Now, the Metropolitan Museum of Art announced last week that next year's Met Gala will be, quote, made possible by the world's third richest man and his wife, Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez. Both were named lead sponsors and will have say over invites, logistics, basically the overall presentation of the event. So, everything, which means, I don't know, will Amazon stream the whole thing? Finally, will we get to see it all? Maybe it'll have a space theme. I don't know. This also follows rumors that Lauren has been working hard to rebrand Jeff as, I'm not even going to call him Jeff, I'm going to call him Bezos, as less of a tech guy and more of a fashionable elite, which is so bizarre to me. Yeah, totally ew. But it's kind of working because they've been at so many bougie red carpets recently. They did the film festival circuit. Lauren herself was on the cover of a digital Vogue, which is insane to me. She was wearing her wedding dress. There's other rumors that Bezos wants to buy Condé Nast, which publishes Vogue, and stick Lauren on the masthead. Just emphasizing these are rumors, but it does sound very possible.
It sounds possible, yeah.
Yeah. Now, what I do know is these two are trying to win over Hollywood and it's working. Let's put it that way. So, the whole Sydney Sweeney of it all, she attended their wedding. So many people did, but it made massive headlines. And then they were at a Kardashian party recently alongside Meghan and Harry. Like they were hobnobbing
Well, didn't
with
they
everyone.
throw the party? Wasn't it at their house?
Yeah, which is bonkers to me. Thank you for reminding me, Sarah. So I don't know. It's like this plan that they have, I think is actually working, as disgusted as we are by them. What does this mean for the future of Met Gala? But maybe more importantly, what does this mean for Hollywood? Because they've really deeply rooted themselves now.
Yeah. I mean, the idea that he's going to be a fashionable elite. This man has no style. And
no.
Nor does she really. I mean, I don't think she's a fashion icon. So the idea of her doing anything at Condé Nast, as much as I think Condé Nast sometimes can be problematic, that's still blasphemous, right? Like this woman shouldn't be there at all. You shouldn't be able to just buy your way there. And I know that they've always had lots of rich people working for them. I mean, Vera Wang, who's incredibly talented and very stylish, did get her job in part because her parents were very important people.
Yeah.
But she also had talent and style, right? So, that's just a disgrace. Okay, here's the thing. These people are never going to be cool. You can be super rich, but it's really hard to be that rich and to be cool. So I don't know how delusional they are. Also, why do you care? But one interesting thing about them sponsoring this gala is that Katy Perry will probably be there. So is Justin Trudeau going to go hang out there? Is he going to be there with the Kardashians in his jeans? Because he's never appropriately dressed when he's with Katy Perry. Remember when he wore jeans on her yacht? Like
yeah,
he didn't know
never
shorts?
is. He wears jeans all the time. It really dates him. I actually do think if they make it that long, yeah, he would be at the Met Gala with her. I think 100%. And good for him.
I mean, live your best life, Justin, I guess. And I mean, I'm sure he's always wanted to go. Like, doesn't that seem like an event that he has always wanted to be at?
Maybe. You know what? I don't give him that much credit. I feel like he probably didn't even know much about it before. Like, I think he's always had the bro-y thing to him, and it's never really gone away personally. But I do think he loves a party.
He loves a party. I think he's bro-y, but he also loves a costume, right? He loves a costume.
True.
He's always saying that. Oh my God. Like, he loves the costume. He will definitely wear something culturally appropriative. We all know that. That's his MO. And he also likes fancy stuff. He likes hobnobbing with famous people. Remember when he hung out at the Aga Khan's Island? This is like that, but an entire ballroom of people that important. So he will love it. I think that the thing he gets out of this relationship with Katy Perry, yes, she's incredibly hot, but also he gets access to a different kind of fame and prestige, right? He has access to world leaders, to diplomats, but is he going to go party at a Bezos party without her? No. Is he going to be on a yacht without her? I mean, yes, but like probably not as nice a yacht, but like still be on a yacht actually.
Yeah. I mean, Sarah, I think that's the big appeal, is it not? I mean, sorry to Katie, but I feel like this is also why I would absolutely sign up for it. just to get a slice of that life. Why the hell not if you get the chance? And he's essentially retired. You know,
and a
go
kept
for
man
it,
now.
sir.
He's not retired. He's a kept, he's
He's
got
a
to
kept
keep
man.
Katy Perry happy, right? Like it
It's so
reminds me
true.
for some weird reason. Do you remember when Peter McKay had to date Condoleezza Rice for the sake of our foreign
No,
policy? Do you
not
remember
at
that? Look that up.
all.
Look that up.
No.
It's one of my favorite. This is
What?
my Roman Empire. I think about this all the time about how under Stephen Harper, our literal foreign policy was you're the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Go take your job literally. You got to date Condoleezza Rice.
Oh my
gotta do it.
God.
Gotta do it. They were actually kind of cute together. But
Okay.
she stayed at his house. They went to Tim Hortons together. I mean, listen, they didn't officially say they were dating, right? And we didn't see photos of them making out on a yacht, but there definitely was energy. I think they probably hooked up. I mean, they were two attractive people in politics, and Canada really needed to get on the US's good side because we didn't go to the war in Iraq and there were years of the US not liking us. And so I really genuinely think that Peter McKay, he probably this is probably a Me Too story, but was probably pressured by his boss, the
Jesus.
prime minister. I have no
Oh,
evidence of this. This is my conspiracy theory. I think he was told, he's like, you make that woman happy. Do what you need to do. And
oh
he's
my
like, well,
God.
she's cute. And we know that Peter McKay has game because he dated Belinda Stronach and his wife is beautiful. So I think he was like, I'm not as smart as she is. What do I do? Well,
This is the
I'm
most
cute.
fun and unexpected Canadian way we could go off track. Thank you so much, Sarah. Yes, let's all Google that because I have so many questions. That's delicious. Thank you. I feel like let's just move on to the next headline. I feel like that said everything we needed to say. And frankly, I don't like talking about the Bezoses. So yeah, moving on. Okay. We want to talk about our favorite girl, Kim Kardashian. We are on first name basis, but we'll go with Kim Kardashian. She's currently starring in the awful, I hate to say it, Hulu/Ryan Murphy series All's Fair. Now, her acting is horrific. The woman is stiff as hell. I don't know if she's ever taken a proper acting lesson. Actually, no, I believe she has.
Probably.
But I feel like it's not sinking in. Like she's just not made out for this.
No.
The show still, though, the show has record-breaking ratings for the network. And we are seeing Kim share the screen with the likes of Sarah Paulson, Naomi Watts, Glenn Close. I mean, this almost feels like a fever dream. And by the way, these women are very happy to be there because they've been hanging out with the Kardashians. They were featured on Keeping Up with the Kardashians because they were all just hanging out, spending time at Kris Jenner's and Kim's house. These women are getting along. Sarah and Kim appear to have become very cute chums. If you've watched any of the press tour, me too. They're so cute together. They make each other laugh so hard. It's the happiest I've ever seen either of them do press. It's really nice. Now, as much as I enjoy this for Kim, yes, I want her to take more acting lessons, please. But also, I have some devastating news, although you've probably heard of it if you've made it this far. I would like for her to pass the bar exam because she shared last week she failed again. Now, this is devastating to us Kim K fans. I just also want to note for the haters that the California bar exam is considered the toughest.
Yes.
So, she's got her work cut out for her. But I also think there's truth to what a lot of those naysayers have been saying, that maybe it would have been better if Kim did take the typical law school route, if she signed up for some of the prep classes. She's clearly not doing that, and I think that would have made a big difference. This is a smart woman. Well, even though some of you would disagree with that, it's true. Now, on Instagram, she opened up and said, quote, "I'm not a lawyer yet. I just play a very well-dressed one on TV. 6 years into this law journey, and I'm still all in until I pass the bar. No shortcuts, no giving up, just more studying and even more determination. Thank you to everyone who has supported and encouraged me along the way. Failing short isn't failure, it's fuel. I was so close to passing the exam, and that only motivated me even more. Let's go." I love it. I love it. And I'm really in awe because I would have given up a long time ago. Sarah, do we just have to accept Lawyer Kim on TV, or will we see Lawyer Kim in real life one day? What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, part of me really admires her because this is one of the few things in life you can't buy. You can't bribe
Yes,
the Bar
true.
Association, right? It's the hardest bar exam in America. It's one of the hardest bar exams in the world. And so I really respect that she wants to do something difficult and she's not doing weird things that most billionaires do, like trying to go hunt people or things like that. Like she's actually doing something constructive that will help the world as she can become basically a lawyer who's focused on human rights. But how would it change anything? Because she's already doing this advocacy to get people out of prison, to raise awareness about important issues in our criminal law system, or not ours, in the US criminal law system, though ours still has issues. I don't know if she needs it because she wants to be an activist and advocate. I mean, is she really going to go to court? Like, does she have time to do that? I don't think being a lawyer is a lot of work, right?
Yeah.
And she has a business empire. She's a businesswoman. And this is what I wish Kim Kardashian would understand about herself. If she did an MBA, I think she'd ace it because that's her brain. She's a business brain. She's not an actress. And as much as I think she cares about inequality, I don't think she's a lawyer. I think she's a business genius, right? I think she's much more similar to someone like a Steve Jobs than she would be to a Johnny Cochran or to her dad, right?
Yeah.
It's a different type of intelligence, right? And it doesn't mean you're not academic. It doesn't mean you're not intellectual, but she's entrepreneurial. She has a savvy business mind. She understands business strategy. And you know what? Most lawyers, if you make them the CEO of a business empire, would suck at it. So like I'm not saying that being a lawyer makes you smarter. It's a different type of intelligence. And I'm wondering if maybe Kim she needs to accept that she can't be an actress, needs to accept that you can care about injustice without becoming a lawyer. Like, I don't understand why she thinks she needs to be a lawyer.
That is so well said because I've been wondering the exact same thing. I was really thinking about it this week. Like, what does she achieve? You're absolutely right. She's doing the work already that I imagine is what she wants to do. The only thing that I could imagine is two things. A, her father was a lawyer. She's talked about that a lot on the show. I think it's really beautiful that she wanted to be able to follow in his footsteps. Rob, her younger brother, that was originally his plan.
Yeah.
He, of course, has kind of moved on to, I don't know, his own trajectory. Hopefully he's doing well. We wish you well, Rob. But
yeah,
I feel like Kim kind of felt like she was picking up
the mantle or something.
The mantle, yeah.
Yeah.
Then my other theory is that she just wants to kind of prove herself to the public. But I also find that confounding because at this point, why? You're doing so well for yourself and your businesses and the amount of money you break in and customers you have. Like Skims alone is such a success story. If she didn't even have any of the other stuff, she'd still be considered really incredible just for that. So why? God, if I could ask her this one question, Sarah, I wish.
I mean, I think you're right. It's partially about legacy. And you know what? Listen, every lawyer wants one of their children to be a lawyer. I mean, in my family, one became a lawyer. My dad really wanted me to be a lawyer. I didn't become a lawyer. I also have an Armenian lawyer father, and I didn't become one. So, but my brother did. Okay. He did go to law school. Same law school as my dad, did become a lawyer. So my dad lived his dream. So, I mean, I think anytime you have someone in your family who is a professional, who's a lawyer or a doctor or something like that, they do want one of their kids to do this. This is just the family business. It's kind of like Succession, but with law. So maybe that's part of it. But I also think that just because the way the human brain works, it's much easier to learn how to study law when your brain is still developing. I feel like it would be so hard to be a mature student in law. And so she really should have gone to law school. I think she needed that structure, that support, to be surrounded by other people studying law, right? To be in classes with other students, learn from the way they ask questions, right? I don't understand how you absorb information like this when you're just working one-on-one with a tutor. That's also not how the law works. The law is actually fairly collaborative. Like you typically have lots of people working on a case when you have opposing counsel. So when you go to court, right? Like you talk to people and you spar about ideas, and she's just sort of there with a tutor who's paid to be there. So I'm not sure how much the tutor is disagreeing with her.
I do wonder that too. Honestly, you've said it all. I am so curious because she's also got a bunch of kids around. We saw on the show that they're often, nagging her. They're all around. She's got a busy household. not to mention running all these businesses. Say what you will about her, but she's a busy woman. So I don't understand where she's getting actual real meaty time to focus and study. And yeah, it just doesn't seem practical. But if she wants this, I want Kim Kardashian to be happy and have every dream she likes in this life come true. So fingers crossed for you, girl. But, also maybe reassess.
You don't need to be a lawyer, right? You're a businesswoman. And if she wants to go do an MBA, there are lots of MBAs you can do without having earned an undergraduate degree, actually. And I think she'd rock it. I think she'd do so well in an executive MBA program.
I think so too. But again, like if you've made the business, why do you need the degree?
Oh, you don't. That's just for vanity.
No, I agree. But I just, yeah, you're right. It's just vanity, I guess. Maybe that's really the ultimate answer here. But she's also playing a lawyer on TV. I would just say I'm doing this in honor of my dad. Like you've done it. You've done it. Anyway.
Yeah. And here's the thing. He mostly didn't practice, right? He decided to become a lawyer again to help OJ before he realized that OJ was the killer, right? I mean, he was in a bit of denial, which, I mean, I'm not going to fault him for that, because if the godfather of one of your children kills someone, it's your best friend. Like, you can be in shock and denial for a little bit. But he was basically just trying to navigate it, right? If you watch, one of my favorite things to watch is the clip of when they find OJ Simpson not guilty. And he doesn't even understand what's happening until Robert Kardashian basically says that means, like, they've decided you didn't do it. Like, that's the extent to which this man needed translation of the legal system, right? So he was just there as, like, the person, like the project manager, and also the person who was like the OJ whisperer, right? So I don't think her father would be ashamed of her for being a businesswoman. I really don't.
No, I think he'd be very proud, to be honest. But alas, we all feel like, maybe it's daddy issues. But anyway, I support you, Kim. And that's this week's episode. Thank you to all of our gorgeous listeners. You can listen to The Reheat for free on the Seeker app. You can also find the show on the Frequency Podcast Network or wherever you get your podcasts. If you want to hear more from me, you can find me at _StuffSon on Twitter and at Canada Whore on Instagram. Sarah, where can our listeners find you?
Listeners can find me on Instagram at Sahigi and Sarah. And if you liked this podcast, really, please rate, review, and subscribe. This will help other listeners find us too. Also, if you would like us to keep growing, we have a Patreon. The Patreon's great. Find us on patreon.com/thereheat. We've got some goods in store for you. We've got some really great things planned. It is one way to help ensure that we can produce the best quality content. So, thanks for listening.